Bonjour. As we start to speak French, we need to know some of the structures. So we need to know what nouns and articles are, and that's what we're going to talk about today. A noun is a word that designates a person, place, or a thing. Just like in English, nouns in French have number, singular or plural. But in French, nouns also have gender. It can be masculine or feminine. So let me show you a few examples. You're also going to be listening and repeating. If you have headphones on, this is going to be awesome because you're going to look like you're talking to yourself. So, a masculine singular noun, le café. Go ahead and repeat it, le café. You sound great. Okay, it means the cafe. Now, that's a masculine noun, but a cafe is like a little restaurant. It's a place you go to meet people and have some coffee. What is it that makes that masculine and not feminine? There's really no logical answer for that. We just need to be familiar. When we learn a word like café, we have to learn the little word le for the that goes with it. So that le café. Now, if we're in Paris, we're going to see very many cafes. And did you hear what I just did in English? I gave it a number. I made it plural. I said cafes. So in French, they also have a plural as well. So look what happens to the word café, and also look what happens to the word the. Les cafés. Just like we did in English, we added an S at the end of the word café. And then the word for the went from le, which sounds like you're saying the word look, but without the K. And then les cafés, the word for the changes as well. Now let's look at a feminine singular word. This is la bibliothèque. La bibliothèque. Now, la bibliothèque is the library. The library. So in English, we have to know to change that Y to an IES. In French, we're just going to add the S to this word. But we also have to know what to do with the word for the, which is la. Do you hear the difference between le café and la bibliothèque? The French hear that difference as well. And so when we're learning these words, we do have to learn the word le or la that goes with our noun. To make this singular into a plural, we are going to add an S to the end of the word in this case, but look at what happens to the word for the. We now have les bibliothèques. Les bibliothèques. So you're going to see here that whether it's le or la, it makes it a little easier for us. We don't have to memorize two different ways to say the in the plural. There's just the one. Now, if you're talking about a person and you're using a noun to describe them, those nouns will be masculine nouns. So a noun that designates a male is usually masculine. Nouns that designate a female are usually feminine. And we'll see a couple of exceptions coming up. But let's have a look here. We have l'acteur, which is the actor, and the word for the has changed a little bit here because A is a vowel. So the word le is just going to turn into an L apostrophe. We say L apostrophe or l'acteur. Here, just like we have actor and actress, kind of the same thing in French, l'actrice. So you hear the difference of those words. With the friend who's a male, we have l'ami. And now if you look here, the friend who's a female, you can see a difference. But listen, l'ami, l'ami, l'ami. You don't hear a difference in that case. So sometimes you're only going to see the difference in writing. Now let's look at the singer. Le chanteur. And then for the feminine, we have la chanteuse. L'étudiant. Again, because it begins with a vowel, we're going to change the word le to an L apostrophe. L'étudiant. Now listen to the feminine version. L'étudiante. We pronounce this T now. Did you hear how I was not pronouncing it here? L'étudiant. L'étudiante. Now here we have le petit ami. I'm pronouncing this T because it comes right in front of this A. That's why I'm doing that. And then we have this, la petite amie. Okay, le petit ami, la petite amie. So they sound very, very similar in this case, except for the word la versus le. A word like ami, which means friend, you don't hear it at all. If I put my cursor right here in the middle and I just say l'ami, you can't tell whether I'm saying the masculine or the feminine. There's going to be other clues that we're going to learn about later. Now there are some nouns that no matter who we're talking about, if we're talking about a male or a female, this noun is actually going to always keep whatever gender it has. For instance, le professeur. I'm your teacher, so you're going to refer to me as le professeur. Just like I will refer to all people as la personne, whether it's a male or a female. So one of the things you have to remember about our other nouns, if they don't designate a person and they're a place or a thing, they are going to have some gender assigned to them. This is very important. You just have to get to know the word and what gender it takes. So what I recommend you do is when you get a list of vocabulary that you have to write down, you could do one of two things. As you learn the word, make two columns. Write the masculine words in one column, and then you'll write the feminine words in another column. Or you can use maybe pink or blue highlighters, and anytime you see a word that's masculine, you highlight it in blue, or you put an M by it for masculine, and then if you have the feminine words, highlight them in pink, or put an F by the word somewhere so that you know what it is. But you'll always have this little article with it, this la or this le, and that might help you see as you've written these words down. Okay, that's our review for some of the nouns and articles that we'll be talking about. Au revoir.